There we go. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dennis Wilborn. I want to welcome you all to the How to Make Money Trading Stocks and Options, plus some trading tips. Joining me today is Dr. Steve Ferrara from. Now you're officially totally retired now, Steve, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
So you are a full-time trader.
I suppose you could say that. I don't consider myself that, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. Now, I don't consider myself a full-time guy either, but so, hey, let's jump right into today's session. We want to keep it down to about 15 minutes if we can. A lot of stuff going on in the market today. I want to encourage you to basically take a look. Here's what we're going to be doing. I've slightly modified the format for today's for the How to Make Money Trading Stocks and Options. Session one, I'm going to do a real quick market review. Then I'm going to provide a master trading tip. And then the stock of the peak, stock pick of the week with Steve. And so we'll hopefully have you out and on your way within about 15 minutes. Hey, Warren, how you doing? Mark, good to see everybody is joining on board. And so the recording's working, that's working. So let's get in and rumble. One, how did you do in 2020? Now, Steve knocked the cover off the ball, but hopefully you came away profitable for 2020. I know that many of the active trend traders, they were, giving us reports. They were coming in with 80, 90, 100% or better. And then we finish up 70%. So I'm really pleased with that, especially as crazy as the year as it's going to be. One of the focuses I want to be looking at going into 2021, though, is I want to be focusing primarily on strategic wealth building. Why is that? Well, one, I think we can probably count on taxes going up with the new administration, and a lot of more prying type of government and all that type of stuff. And so one of the things to help combat that is to build your wealth up so that, one, to pay your higher taxes, but also to enhance your standard of living. My wife and I were talking about that just this week. What can we do? Recognizing that we will probably pay more for healthcare, we will probably pay more in taxes. What can we do to basically enhance going forward? And it came down to, we want to build wealth. Now, wealth is something that we want to take on. Yeah, David, without a doubt. Now, and we want to take on, and that's one of the things that I love about trading stocks is regardless of who's in power in Washington, D.C., you can basically earn the freedom and the liberty to basically be financially free, and you do it through the process of trading stocks. So anyway, I'll jump off of that and we'll jump into our index review. And so what's up next? Oh, the disclaimer. Just remember that what we do is for training purposes. Any trading you may do, you want to do it in your paper account first, get used to the system, and then move it over to a real account. So let's go ahead and jump in first to the trading tip this is one of our trading tips for 2021. One of the things in working with the thousands of traders I've worked with over the years is that okay, something's going my direction. Anyway, they need to learn, one, how to have they need to develop the written rules, but at the same time, they need to learn how to be a winner. And now sometimes people relate that to, well, to be a winner, then it means I have to win all my trades. No. That's not the definition of a true trading winner. Here's what winners do in the market as a trader. One, winners use stop loss conditional orders to protect capital. I've seen too many folks, they jump in to start trading, that kind of stuff. They haven't got a clue on how to set up their stops and their stop losses. and then they may get lucky and have a couple of good trades and thinking, hey, I'm the smartest thing since, you know, I'm brilliant. And then the market takes its revenge and rips their faces off us. Number two, their face off. Number two, winners use trailing stops to protect both profits and reduce overall risk. And then number three, winners take partial profit at designated profit targets. In other words, you pay yourself as prices are going up. Too many times I see a trader, they get up 10, 15, 20%. They don't know it's okay to sell part of the position and take profits off the table. And they'll just sit there and cling to that stock or that ETF or that option. And then all that profit is sucked out and is gone. And then usually turns into a loss. And they're sitting there like deer in a headlight going, what do I do now? And so it's not a pretty sight when that happens. And if you've been trading for any length of time whatsoever, it probably has happened to you too. So winners journal their trades. They keep on top of what's going on in the trades. So my question for you guys, do you journal? If you don't journal and you are joining us on, if you're joining us on YouTube or even or watching the replay on YouTube, down in the description of the this YouTube video, I have a link to two journals that my son Brandon Wilburn put together. They are absolutely awesome. They're one of the top sellers on Amazon. And if you're just getting started doing doing journaling, it's a great place to start. Great place to start. It has the active trend trading rules, the whole 9 yards. Barry asked the question, what parameters do you use to determine where to set your trailing stops? SMAs, fib retraces, etc. Typically, Barry, what I'm looking at most of the times, I'm looking at swing lows or swing highs, depending. If I'm trading to the upside, I'm looking at a swing low. Now, if the swing low is too far away, I will roll in and use the Fibonacci's, and or I will use my I use EMAs on my 8, my 20, my 34, and my 50-day moving average. I use SMAs on my 100 and 200-day moving average. And so normally I'm looking at violations of around the 50-day moving average or so, or in certain cases, the 8 or the 20. And it's all built within my rules for the active trend trading system. So great question, man. I hope that was a good answer for you. So with that, let's jump over to that's been going on. Now, there we were for 2020. I was really quite pleased with 2020, up about 70%. And so where are we at for, and I'll bet you I didn't put that in it. Gosh darn it. That's okay. I'm prepared. I am prepared. Let me run over and grab this. And this is what you call think it. There we go. Let me go to the index. And as you can see there on the index. Okay. We're up about 2.7%, $246,000. Yeah, as of earlier today, NASDAQ was down a little bit, down for the year. So we'll refine that, get that in place. It may not be down currently right now, but we do have all the indexes are in fact down right now. So down for the day, NASDAQ down for the year so far, but that's where we're at. We're up a little bit over the S&P. Really pleased. We beat the S&P last year by 50%. So that's really awesome. Let's come back and go in and let's see what the indexes are doing. Look at the S&P. Now we use the SPY as our stand-in for the S&P. What does today's price action tell us on the SPY? Just really quick. Let me get my drawing tools up here. There we go. Tells us a couple of things. One, yesterday's price action was a bearish engulfing. Last Friday's price action was a what? A inverted hammer, or a hammer, or at when it's at the top of a uptrend, that's called a hanging man. That is a bearish reversal signal. That's a bearish reversal signal. Then what do we get today? We get a gap down. I'll be looking to see what's going to happen with the SPYs. If it closes below the 8, that's one of the first indication that, okay, is that, hey, we may be going into a slightly more of a correction. If it closes below the 20, that is also a positive sign that we're going into a little bit more of a correction. What I call currently going on in the indexes right now is kind of the jackhammer effect. We ran up hard and strong. It was respecting the 20-day moving average, and now we're getting the jackhammer. Come down, hit the moving average, bend it over, hit the moving average, bends over a little bit more, hit the moving average, and then eventually it will break below it and then pull the moving averages down. And and if the 8 crosses below the 20, we can say, hey, we're at least in a short-term downtrend. I am still bullish on the market. All right, I hate to use the term bullish. I'll have to say we need a pullback, and a pullback to the 34 or the 50 would be awesome for getting into a trade. The Qs real quick. Qs, a little, similar type picture. It's been operating within this uptrending channel. I think that was that was the 8th. This was last Friday. Price action stuck its head above the upside of the channel. Oftentimes that's an indication that I've gone as far as I'm going to go. It's time for me to rest. And we're getting a nice pullback. Price action today. What's going on? Again, look at yesterday's price action, a little bit of a bearish engulfing. Now we're getting a pullback down into below the 8 towards the 20. Corresponds with last Friday. What was going on? We were getting a bearish hanging man, bearish reversal signal on the weekly charts. And now we're getting some move to the downside. It is not racing. It is not, just, jumping to the downside at all. It is basically just kind of like, hey, I'm doing a regular pullback here. Now, just watch the price action. If it starts hammering against, and like if it breaks below the 20 and come down and hits off of the 34 or the 50, that you could say is one of the first signs that we're going to go into a steeper or a deeper correction. That is not what I want. There we go. Russell, same. Russell's been doing awesome. I mean, Russell has been on a tear. And it ripped down here. I thought we were going to go on down to the 34, but it held the 20, bounced back up. However, on the daily chart, we are getting a rollover here on the momentum. So we may be getting a shift in momentum. Hasn't totally happened yet. And on the weekly charts, the momentum has not shifted to the downside yet. So there's nothing in the Russell that's saying, sell me. If anything, I want to look to the left. Where might it find support to bounce? Well, 205, and the lower one at about 201.50. Those are the places where I'm interested in buying or taking an action on IWM if I have the proper indications going with my momentum. So, Steve, that's what I've got for that. Sorry if I was a little bit long-winded.
Not a problem. Pretty much agree with your analysis. I think for me, there are very many trades are extended at this point for the year, and I'm not seeing many things set up. Yeah. But there is one today. I like BLDR as a setup from the IBD 50 list. Yeah, and it's a bit strong today. Ideally, I would have entered above yesterday's high, but I'm not in the trade right now. Okay, but I'm waiting because the market looks like it may turn over. I'm waiting to see how it closes. Do we hold the 8 or do we close under the 8? If we close under the 8, I will not take the trade. But if we close above the 8, I will take this trade today.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, even though it's extended away from the 8, you will still take the trade.
Yeah, I would. It's one of the very few stocks showing any kind of strength the last couple of days.
Okay, I like that.
So I like the relative strength, and I potentially like the trade if the market doesn't roll over.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I like it. It's nice and confined here into a nice consolidation pattern.
Right.
And so it's not a huge big move. It's not a big mover, as you can see. Still about 9% or so. So 10% is something sweet right now. Now you also mentioned that Square.
Yes, yeah. Square is not an entry today, but one I'm watching for an entry next week. I'd like to see a test of the prior low. We did that today. We just want to see that it holds.
Yeah.
And if the market doesn't roll over, then I will be looking to take this trade on Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah.
And one of the things that's in favor of Square potentially doing a nice little move is it could have pre-earning runs going on because it has earnings on 2/23.
Yeah.
And so, I like it, but it's being a little bit weak for us. We gap down from that move there, Steve, from the with the negative divergence. However, it's holding. It's holding right there at the 20.
Yeah. It's all contingent on holding the low 4 or 5 days ago. Yeah.
If it doesn't hold there, I would look at the 34, which is down at the 220.
Yeah, I would look at subsequent different levels of support. Yeah, but
so I'm going to
something I'm interested in, although it's not yet a trade.
Okay, I'm going to throw out one that I'm kind of looking at right now. Riot RIOT. It will be coming onto a lot of lists. It has just done. I mean, this is crazy. But just since over the last 8 weeks, I mean, this has jumped up just insanely. It can't sustain this type of parabolic move, but it's from the breakout level here up 587%. Now, we're not going to catch all of those. However, if there's that much buying interest behind this, we want to see if that is maintained. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for some kind of pullback. What's the best way to determine where the pullback's going to be? I'll throw a fib on from this level, not that level there, from that low right there. Throw a fib on there up to, let's say today's high is the high for the pullback. And we'll just slap that on there right there. Pullback. Now, and I'll pop over here to the right, which is my daily chart. A pullback 50% would be down to 1580-ish. And so the magic fib box goes from 1253 up to 1874. Put an alert dropping down below the 382 to say if it drops down below that, let's see what happens. So again, Riot, it's I was looking at it, and from a company standpoint, it looks like it's got some really strong foundations. It's a cryptocurrency kind of. They do something with cryptocurrency as far as keeping track of it from an accounting standpoint. So,
it's a blockchain. It's a blockchain play in support of Bitcoin.
Yep. Yeah. And so, but it's not. It's Bitcoin related, but it's not Bitcoin.
Correct.
It's like associated with, and that's why it's of interest to me. I'm not really interested in trading Bitcoin. However, the companies that service the trading of Bitcoin, which this kind of is, that's what makes it interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
And so, all right. So that's what I have today. Hey, Barry, I will throw up that one. I don't normally do that. We've got a couple of minutes, so I'll throw a CRNC, which is, what is that? Cerence?
Cerence, yeah.
Yeah,
it's an IBD 50.
It is IBD 50. Yeah, because not all the IBD 50s make it to my list.
Yeah.
So it is getting a nice breakout today. It had a nice positive move up. And so it kind of broke out today and is moving higher. It has earnings coming up when? 2.9. So you may be in for a good earnings move. I would I would look at any kind of a pullback back to about the 108, 108.50 level or 109 might give you an opportunity to get into a trade on that. That's basically bouncing back down to the moving averages. So great pick today, Steve.
Thank you.
So, hey, if you haven't joined us on Active Trend Trading as a top 5 member, you need to do that. Top 5 is already taken off, like on a, as doing amazing so far for this year. We got an Etsy trade in it. Here's, matter of fact, here's what the trades were. We had a couple of just crap outs that held us for, for Microsoft and ZTS from the beginning of the year, but everything else since then has really come up really nicely for, and this is just buying the stock and holding in and swing trading the stocks. And these, my 5 top stocks, top 5 stocks come out every Saturday. So if you want to know about AutoPilot and how to engage it, just either drop me an email or there'll be a link down in the description on YouTube. And if you're not tracking us on YouTube yet, go ahead and, go over to YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and you'll be notified whenever I post new things. And one of the new things that I am posting on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I'm doing a live market. It's called On the Radar Market and Stock Updates. It's a 15-minute just live show, and I do it on Instagram. So the links are also, and I post the video, though, I post it over to YouTube. So with that, Steve, I'm glad that we are back together doing this kind of stuff.
Likewise.
And remember, 2021, I'm looking at it as being a reboot year. And one for wealth building. Premium members, hang on. We'll be on at the top of the hour for the final hour. And so from Tahiti, wherever that is, it is not Hawaii, but from my home to yours and our home to yours, aloha, trade well and prosper, keep sharpening the saw, and mahalo, God bless. And so,
take care, Dennis.
Okay, guys. Thanks, Steve. Aloha, everybody.
Bye-bye.